I used to be a victim of bullying. MiG-21s, Phantoms, Mirages. I never stood a chance. Life wasn't worth living. But the snail gave me hope. Now that I've found 9.7, my life is so much better. People actually respect me now. I'm faster, I'm stronger, and life feels worth living now. This new me, they never saw me coming. I can finally be the superior fighter that my country wants me to be.
"9.7 is not for everyone. Consult the Golden Eagle if 9.7 is right for you. If you have an erection lasting longer than 4 hours, please consider trying new improved 10.0.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the cockpit, this is your pilot speaking. We have reached our cruising altitude of almost 27,000 feet. I have extinguished the seatbelt sign and you are now free to move about the cabin. If you look out the left and the right windows, you will see that everyone is below us. All this because of battle rating compression. Statistically, we were not a good aircraft. 9.7, my friends. Alright, so let me start this off. Let me just apologize to all the F-11 pilots, the FGA pilots, and everybody that I've bullied in the past 3 days. Because this really should not be. This should not be. This aircraft, now we're gonna have to explain some things before we go into this so you guys all understand that at 9.7 there is a hard cap right now. 9.7 cannot face 10.0 aircraft. Now, on the other hand, you can face all the way down to 8.7 aircraft. This would include things like the Venom, MiG-15 Bis, A5 Sabre, any of the Sabres, to be honest. All these aircraft, they're not supersonic. They can't keep up with this thing at all. In most cases, and they will never achieve this altitude, not without a lot of climbing. And I just spawned, got up to speed, and I went straight up. This is a prescribed climb angle for this aircraft. This thing's supposed to intercept the ISS, right? Right. Anyways, these F-11 pilots, I mean, yeah, sure, the F-11's got a little bit of power. It can kind of get up here, but I can just fly circles around them all day, and guess what? They cannot dodge these red top missiles. This is not even close to fair. And yes, this is bullying, and I'm going to apologize a couple more times throughout this video. I'm doing this on purpose. I'm doing this to prove a point. This match, it was myself, Chadmiral here, and another Lightning, and we're just flying circles around people. But is this right? No. No, this is not right. So we have a compression issue, big time compression issue that Gaijin is ignoring. And you know what's even worse? As of today, the J-32, the G91YS are 10.0, which means we will no longer face them. Those aircraft were kind of capable of actually catching this one. Sort of, not really. It wasn't even really that close, but at least they were somewhat capable of countering me. And now I don't face them anymore. I don't know where this logic's coming from. It makes absolutely no sense. And now even worse, the J-32 is going to get absolutely stomped at top tier because it can't dodge any of those missiles. And the YS, sure, it'll probably be alright, but it don't belong there. I don't know, I just don't understand this 12-on-12 combat thing with everybody has missiles. And now that we're getting radar-guided missiles, you could take off, you could launch 4 missiles at the first thing you lock up on radar, and God even knows if you're even going to see the damn missiles, because we know that they don't render half the time. This matchmaker is getting beyond stale. Beyond stale. So the ultimate dilemma right here, this aircraft is a prime example, okay? So we have a 9.7 cap right now, which was to kind of protect some of these aircraft that were getting bullied. But there is a lot of aircraft right now that are sitting at 10.0 that honestly, there's no point in flying them anymore. I love the MiG-19 to death. That is one of my favorite planes to fly. I almost had a reversal. I was kind of mad that guy ripped. But anyways, the MiG-19 is a prime example as well as this one. So this thing, if it goes up to 10.0, It's not, we already know it's not competitive against those things. That's why it went down probably in the first place, because statistics. Yeah, the statistics said this aircraft sucked. But now we put it here, and what's happening? It's absolutely stomping on everything. Now that would be the same situation if we brought the MiG-19 down here, unfortunately. So here we are with an issue of compression. We have these aircraft that there's such a speed gap. Now the worst problem with all of this is 8.7. So 8.7, you got things like the A5, right? The A5 does not have good acceleration, but it still has to face this thing. What is the point when this aircraft can just run the whole time? And yes, the Sabres can dodge these missiles because they have a decent roll rate and decent pull, but most people cannot dodge these red top missiles. Where is the logic in this balance? Now let's see here. How are we going to fix this? So you saw me when I did the Q5 video. I said the Q5 would probably make a good 9.7. In this current matchmaker, the more I flew it, the more I realized it probably actually would make, because it doesn't have ridiculous acceleration. It's a really good plane, but it's still a crappier MiG-19. Anywho, so what is the problem? Well, the biggest problem right now is 8.7s. 8.7s do not deserve to be facing something like this. So we need to decompress. Now, you have a ton of aircraft right now that are getting absolutely stomped at 10.0. You got the MiG-19, you got the F-100D, you got the Hunter F-6, which is pretty much worthless now, the last I heard, and I still ain't gonna fly it, sorry. You also got the F-100s, you've got, or sorry, not F-100s, F-104s, you've also got the J-7 and the MiG-21 F-13. All those aircraft are sitting at 10.0 right now, with the exception of, like, there's like one or two 104s that are at 10.3. But these aircraft right now could make up their own matchmaker. They really could. There's enough of them to make up their own matchmaker. And you could throw the Lightning in here with it, because the Lightning got stomped on because of missiles. All the 10.3s are the ones that have the broken good missiles. The R-60s, the Mantra 530s, what else we got? We got the AIM-9Js. And then we're going to have AIM-7s here pretty quick. So everything that sits at 10.0 right now could be its own matchmaker, and you could decompress that into its own battle rank and move the rest of these things with broken missiles that nobody wants to fight up to a higher battle rank, like 11.3 or something like that. Let's recap. There's two things that needs to happen. 8.7s and 9.0s don't need to be facing supersonics too much. Now, granted, there is a couple aircraft sitting at that rank right now that could probably come up because they are actually supersonic. So we'll address that. That's like the F-11. The Scimitar definitely doesn't belong at 8.7, even though it has issues. It definitely doesn't belong at 8.7. But this is an issue. So if we can get this aircraft right here, this is prime example. This is it right here. This is the ultimate example of what's broken right now. If this thing does not face 8.7s, does not face 9.0s, and does not face missiles like the R-60s, the AIM-9Js, this aircraft would be flyable. And the same thing could be said for the MiG-19s, the F-100Ds, and some of the aircraft that are at 9.7 right now would actually fit into that matchmaker too. They would actually be very viable against these. They may not be the easiest, but no up tier should ever be easy. Now, on the other hand, there's also other ways you could look at this. You could look at this as a battle rank based on armament. Say I throw these red tops on, and this aircraft becomes, whatever, 10.3 or something, so it actually faces other aircraft with similar armament. And if I take off the missiles, then maybe I'm fighting, MiG-19s, things like that. I don't really understand that, because that's the situation that this aircraft's in. That's the situation the Hunter F-6 was in. The Hunter F-6 had broken good missiles. Now, granted, they didn't have a whole hell of a lot of range, but all you had to do was get up behind somebody, and you weren't dodging it. You weren't dodging it. Everybody knows that. And then they moved it up to 10.0, where the aircraft can't catch anything, so what's the point in the missiles anyways? But I don't want to see that thing facing 8.7s, 9.0s that aren't nearly as fast of it and can't dodge the missiles. What's the point in even flying if you can't defensive fly against that aircraft? Period. There was no point. So the Hunter F-6, honestly, it really didn't even have a place in this game. And this plane, unfortunately, kind of sits in the same boat, too. It didn't have a lot of place in this game. It should have came out maybe when the F-100 and the MiG-19s first came out, and it would have been a little bit more fun. But it came too late. I don't care how we do it. Well, no, I do care how we do it, because this isn't how it should have been fixed in the first place. This was their answer. No, I do care how we do it. Decompress. I don't care how far out we go, but decompress. Everything from 8.7 up to, what, right now, 10.3. Decompress up to 11.3, even maybe 11.7. I don't care. There's enough aircraft, and we'll get more. We got the Jaguar coming. The Jaguar is not going to have any fun, well, at least in its current condition, in the top-tier matchmaker facing 10.3s. Remember, 10.3, most of those aircraft, almost every damn one of those aircraft has a missile that is almost impossible to dodge. So just keep that in mind. But this is pure bullying. And again, guys, I'm going to apologize. This is pure bullying. I know some people say this aircraft's hard to fly. The more you fly it, the more you enjoy it. I don't know what else to say other than, what the hell? What the hell? You know, and the reality is we had the same discussion about a year ago. I think it was about a year ago that I did my last battle rating compression rant video, whatever you want to call it. And I don't think it was ever anywhere near as bad as it is right now. This is beyond disgusting. I have zero desire to fly top tier at all, but I would love to fly the MiG 19, the F-100s. You know, go back to that original matchmaking when we first introduced supersonics, where it was F-100s and MiG 19s and the original MiG-21, not this broken SMT and MF stuff that we have now. I miss that old supersonic matchmaker. That was fun. But then we decided to bring in all these missiles. And the missiles would have been fine if it wasn't this 12-on-12 combat where Joe Schmo sits behind you, gets you slow, and then somebody else comes in with, 4 fresh missiles, and he just wipes you out of the sky because you had to defensive fly against somebody else, and then you just kind of got tag teamed. You have no control over the fight at top tier. You don't. Not at all. Maybe if it was 4-on-4 combat, something different. An intercept mission. Give people variety. Where is the variety? Oh yeah, we don't have any. Because we're War Thunder. Shiny new planes. Cool missiles. Who cares about the gameplay? Right?